In this video, I'm going to give you the 3 steps that I would use to onboard new home cleaning clients so that they're more likely to leave reviews, give referrals, and repurchase my services after the onboarding process. So I always want to jump in with a personal story of mine, my experience with onboarding. There's this company called Go High Level. It's basically a CRM that helps you keep track of your sales prospects and them going through the funnel, right? A lot of you probably use a CRM. Maybe it's HubSpot, maybe it's Go High Level. Regardless, I was using it for my business as I was running ads and for companies that I've been a part of. And every time that you sign up for Go High Level, they have you go through an onboarding call. And to get you on that onboarding call, often you're going through a landing page, right? So you go to Go High Level, you buy the subscription, and after that subscription, they text you, they email you, and they call you, all to get you on that onboarding call because they know that if you don't understand how to use their service, you're probably gonna churn out, and which means you're basically going to cancel. So they're like, if we can get you on that onboarding call and we can teach you how to use our service, you're much more likely to stay on as a customer, be happy, and get referrals. And so just the amount of effort that they put to that onboarding experience was eye-opening to me because before I got in the CRM, they knew what the common pain points were for their customer. A lot of people couldn't get texting compliance. They didn't know how to set up the pipelines, the deals, or to set up the agency view versus the customer view, or so on and so forth. And then they have a referral program that they can give you, I think it's like 30-40% of every customer you refer to them, whatever it is. I don't know, but through that onboarding call, they can get you to that experience of referrals because you understand it, you love the product, so you want to tell all your friends about it. Without that onboarding experience, when I got into Go High Level, I would have been really confused. I would have known what to do, and I probably would have canceled for a simpler CRM. What was also super interesting about the Go High Level experience was I signed up, online, landing page. They have automated emails and personal texts and personal calls that go out. You get a dedicated kind of rep who's on with you, trying to build a relationship with you, but they also have 24/7 customer support because they knew that you using their product and understanding how to use their product was contingent on how good that onboarding experience was. The people who weren't onboarded well probably churned out sooner, which meant less money for the company. Similarly, I think that when you have a good onboarding experience with a home cleaning client, in that you personalize their cleaning experience, you're very prompt with communication, they don't have a lot of questions dealing with you. When you can take care of all of that, you're able to get more referrals from them, you're able to get them to repurchase, and you're able to get good reviews, which puts your company on the map and helps you get more customers, grow, and serve your community more. And so I just wanted to talk about that Go High Level experience because it's not only important in the home cleaning space, it's important in every space. You're starting a relationship with somebody and you need to make sure that that first impression sets you off on the right course. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video because when you have good onboarding, you will get good referrals. And honestly, I should have a good number of referrals, but it's also the quality of the referral. You want good customers, you want people that you like to work with, not people that are a headache, if you will. So I want to jump to the steps. The first step is document the sales process and share client expectations. So first step, we're going to go document and share. And share through sales process. Through sales process. So this can happen one of 2 ways. They can either be seeing your advertisement, going to your website and filling out a form for a free clean or a cheap clean, and you're getting information about them. What would you like cleaned in that 3-hour free or cheap clean? What specific things do you want us to look out for? When do you want us there? And you can collect 5 or 7 data points on your customer, and that's the sales process. It's like from click to close, you gather information on your customer, whether it's on the landing page or in a sales call, and you take that information and you document it, and you make sure that it's available for your onboarding staff, for your customer success staff, for the rest of your company, really. It might just be you. It might be you and the 2 cleaners. It might be you, the 2 cleaners, and 1 admin. Whatever it is, you want to know that everybody has access to customer information so that they can interact with that customer in a personal way. Because when you get personal interactions, you build relationships, and when you build relationships, you can have ongoing business because frankly, the business is the foundation of that relationship. And then you can start, branching out to events and meals and stuff to stack up. But really, we want to make sure that you're with me because I clean for you, And I'm with you because you help pay me to clean for you, which provides for my employees and my family. So I want to serve you well, and you clearly want a good experience. So let's make both of us happy, right? And you want to do that by documenting and sharing throughout the sales process by gathering 5 to 7 data points on client preferences. And really that's it. It's like personal details and preferences. Get that in a shared doc. You can get it in a Google form. That Google form can connect to a Google Doc, or that Google Doc can go straight to an email. Whatever the process is, there's many ways you can do it, but you want to make sure that information is accessible for everybody so that every time you have an interaction with that client, they feel known. That's really all we're going for here. And we want to make sure we get the client preferences, but also any promises you made during the sales process. So maybe you're on the phone with somebody and they didn't go through the landing page, so you didn't automatically collect your 5 to 7 data points, so you're asking questions on the sales call and they don't want to buy unless on the first clean you bring 2 cleaners because their house is extra dirty. And so you promise, yeah, we'll bring 2 cleaners, I'll come up there myself with a cleaner. You want to document that promise so you can keep your promises. Because when you say something in the moment and you don't remember because you didn't write it down, that hurts your brand with that customer, and then ultimately you generate some negative word of mouth. So any client preferences they have, 5 to 7 data points about what they prefer regarding the clean and just their life, and then any promises you made during the sales process, you want to document those and disseminate them to your team. Document and share. That is the first step to onboarding well, because you don't want people to have to go through it again and again and again. I know you guys have been in those companies where you jumped on with the first salesperson to be qualified, and it's like, okay, we have the sales call, I'm ready to buy. They're like, oh, but you have to go talk to the account executive. Then you talk to the account executive, they ask you the same questions the first person did. It's like, okay, I'm ready to buy. Okay, but we need one more like proposal, yada yada meeting. You have a third meeting. It's like, why am I meeting with you so much? I just want to buy. I understand what you're saying. There's not much more to tell me, and there's not much more for me to tell you. So let's get to it. You don't want your client to have that experience. You want to make sure you know where they left off so that you can continue the conversation. That's step 1. Document and share through the sales process. Step 2 is introduce the onboarding specialist in the sales call or on the sales page. So we're going to do introductions, or introduce to personal rep. So this is really simple. Say they go through the landing page. After the landing page is like, hey, thank you for booking a time. We'll have your cleaners contact you in the next 24 hours to confirm your appointment. But also, this is the person who's responsible for communication between you and the company. So if there's something wrong with your cleaners, contact this person. This is their cell phone. If there's something you want to update your preferences, or you want to update the promises we made to you, contact this person. This is your personal account rep. They will take your call, text you at midnight, at 2 a.m., if your kid is crying, type of thing. You want to make sure that they have a relationship, they have a face to the relationship with your company. And so you can do this on the thank you page, or you can do this on the sales call. So at the end of the sales call, your account rep can either be the salesperson, like, hey, I'm your point of contact if your company's small. If your company's bigger and you want 1 person to 50 clients or whatever, and this is your concierge account rep, you can basically bring that person in at the end of the sales call and make sure they have it on their calendar for the last 5 minutes of each sales call to hop on, get introduced to the client, and take it to the next step. Or you can do an email, a 3-way text, 3-way call, something to make sure you're connecting them to their onboarding specialist that's going to be their relationship manager for their life with the company. So that's really what you want to do. Introduce them to their personal rep, either through a 3-way call, a 3-way text, a 3-way email, or have it be the person they're on the call with. If it's purely no communication throughout the sales process with a person, in that they click an ad, get on the website, put in their information, you collect your 5 to 7 data points, and they purchase right there on the website, they don't talk to anybody. On the thank you page, you can have a picture of the person that is their rep, a little bit of personal details with their personal contact information. But whether it's on the landing page or the thank you page, after they convert, or it's on the sales call, through a 3-way call, 3-way email, 3-way text, we want to make sure we introduce them to their onboarding specialist so they get a personal rep. They have a face to the relationship they have with your company. That just makes them stickier. It also just helps them build the relationship for later. Some stuff we're going to talk about later. I'll loop back to that. Third step I want to talk about is BAM FAM. So this is book a meeting from a meeting. Book a meeting from a meeting. Bam, bam. When you have the introduction to your onboarding specialist, whether it's on the thank you page, you want the clean scheduled or you want their next point of communication scheduled. You never want an open loop. Never like, oh yeah, we'll follow up over the next week and a half to get your clean on the books and do this and do that. It's like, no. You get to clean on the books right there on the page. They either scheduled or they didn't convert and they're getting follow-up calls, or on the sales call, you get the clean booked, make sure they accept it on their calendar or approve that time, and you follow up to confirm that time as the time approaches, of course. But we always want to book a meeting from a meeting. If you get off the phone with the customer and you don't have a meeting with them, it better be because they're not interested, not because you didn't ask. And we just want to make sure that's clear with step 3. Because if you're talking to somebody like, yeah, I'll come clean your house sometime in the next 3 days, let me get back to you in 48 hours. They might go find somebody else in that time, like quite literally. And you lost the chance to build a relationship with that customer who might have been referrals or reviews or more revenue for your company. And yeah, it could be a lot of things, a lot of good things for you. And because you did not bam fam, a bad thing happened in that you lost a customer. And so that's really the 3 steps that will help you get more referrals and more reviews. And this is purely because all 3 of these things build a relationship. This one helps you keep the personal touch. If you document and share their preferences and your promises to them throughout the sales process, you can now pick up each conversation, even though it's with a different person, from the spot where it ended, eliminates that redundancy, improves that client experience. And that's what number 1 does for you, just makes it super personal. Number 2, also makes it a bit more personal in that they have a face associated with the company now, and they have the personal contact details of a specific person at your company. It's like, this is your person. That makes it a really concierge, really white glove feel that adds some value. People like to know that they're cared for, that they're known, and when you give them a specific person that knows their name and remembers their details from step 1, it adds to that effect. So personalizing by picking up each conversation where it ended, personalizing by giving them a specific relationship, and then bam fam, you never leave them hanging. And by doing all 3 of these things, you make them feel cared for, you make them feel known, and if your product is good, if you clean well, you make them feel served really well. And all of those things lead to a great client experience, which will lead to a good number of referrals, because they're like, why wouldn't I want my friends to have this experience? Like, they're getting their home cleaned, and it sucks right now. They have different cleaners every time, not very communicative, they don't have a personal rep. I'm going to make sure that they're taken care of by working with you. So let me tell them about your company. That's what we're going for. We want them to have such a good experience. Feel like it's so personal to them that they feel the need to refer, the need to review, because they want more people to have the same experience they did, because they get status by sharing about your business. That's the goal. That's what these 3 steps are to do. Of course, this isn't a perfect system. There are more things to do in the onboarding process, one of which we're going to go over right now. So, bonus value. This is the first 48 hours. And what we're going to focus on in the first 48 hours is promises. So you want to make and keep as many promises as you can in that first 48 hours. And this is via over communication. There's a lot of things that you're going to do in that first 48 hours. And a lot of people just don't communicate what they're doing. And so if you have 12 things you do for a customer in the 48 hours, like, we're going to schedule your time, we're going to line up your cleaners, we're going to prep the van that is specifically going to come to your spot, and we're going to do this, and that, and the other. If you communicate all those things, like, hey, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. We just got the cleaners prepped on your preferences to come to your spot. That's 48 hours before. 24 hours before, little picture of the van. Load up the van, excited to like hang out with you, clean your house, and make sure you have a great experience, whatever. You just want to make and keep as many promises as you can in that first 48 hours that are valuable and that are meaningful. You don't want to over communicate useless stuff, but you want to let people know that they're progressing. If they booked a clean 4 days from now and they don't hear from you until 24 or until an hour before that clean, they're going to be a little bit confused. But if they get updates along the way of what you're doing to prep, they feel like they're well taken care of before the clean even starts. And because they expect or they experience good value in the communication and the sales process, they'll expect good value in the clean. You'll have a little bit of like, oh, whatever they do, I expect it to be good. So now you have some confirmation bias on your side, which also helps you get good referrals, good customer retention, good customer repurchasing, and good reviews. So in that first 48 hours, you want to make and keep as many promises as possible by over communicating each step you do to prepare for a clean. Maybe it's a 6-point checklist, a 4-point checklist, a 12-point checklist. That could be 4 touch points in those first 48 hours to communicate to that customer that we have you in mind. And it's very similar to these 3 things. It's adding to that relationship, going the extra mile for the customer, asking them, hey, any special scents you want us to bring or something like that, so on and so forth, right? So that's the bonus value section. To get good onboarding, which will lead to good referrals and good reviews, first we want to document and share throughout the sales process. We want to introduce them to their personal rep. This makes sure we can pick up each conversation where it started, so it eliminates redundancy. This one right here gives them a face with the company, and this one right here makes sure they're not left hanging. We always know the next time we're hanging out, next time we're getting together, and that keeps the relationship going. Then we want to make and keep as many promises as we can in the first 48 hours just to build that relational equity and give them some good anticipation about how the cleaning experience is going to be. So I want to take all this information and bring it straight to you and how you can apply to your business today. So the first thing, create a Google form that captures preferences during the sales process. So if you do add to landing page to purchase of a free clean or a cheap clean that then you upsell a package or something like that, a great way to look at this is somewhere in that landing page process, you have a form. That can be a Google form. It can be a form you created on Go High Level, for example. Any sort of form that integrates into a website. You collect 5 to 7 data points on how do you want your house to smell when it's done? Like, what level of communication do you like? How often do you want to get your home clean? Do you prefer the same cleaner or a different cleaner each time? Do you prefer a pair of cleaners? Like, whatever the important data points are to your customers specifically. Now, we all have different clients that we serve, and they have different things that they care about. So figure out the 5 to 7 that are most important to your clients, collect those data points up front, and this will help you document throughout the sales process, and then you share it by just linking it to a Google Doc, shooting it out in emails to the team via some automations that are really easy to connect, or some manual labor that you put on an admin or a VA or something like that. So that's the first step. Integrate a form into your landing page or into your sales process, whether it's on the phone or on the landing page, and fill out the form each time. Give them a dedicated account rep. That can just be you. It can be your phone. And put that face on your website. Integrating the form, 15 minutes. Putting that face on the website with personal contact details on the welcome form or integrating it to the script at the end of the call, 15 minutes. So in 30 minutes, you could have steps 1 and 2 done. Third, really, all this takes 30 minutes. You want to live and breathe by BAM FAM. So this, BAM FAM, scripting issue. Introduce to personal rep, little bit of website edits or a scripting issue. Scripting and scheduling issue. Document and share, little bit of edits to integrate a form or a scripting issue. So either a little bit of edits to the website, get your website person to do it, or you can do it, or I can do it for you, and change your script. Do those 2 things, and you create a very personal onboarding experience for your client that streamlines communication and will hopefully lead to more referrals and more reviews for you. So, of course, a great sales call, a great sales process means nothing if the handoff experience is horrible. The last part of closer, which is the selling process that I talked about in one of my past videos, is reinforce the decision. So after you sell the vacation, after you explain away their concerns, you want to reinforce the decision with that first 48 hours by onboarding them well. And if the onboarding falls apart, you're really wasting a lot of dollars through the funnel. So you can use these 3 steps to create a seamless process that builds trust with your clients, helps you get referrals, helps you get reviews, and really just sets the tone for repurchasing and building a relationship with your company. And of course, we're doing this not to just help you get good referrals, not to just help you make a ton of money, but we're on a mission to help 800,000 entrepreneurs starting in the home cleaning space grow to $2 million a year in profit. And I got to get good at helping you guys get customers and train teams to do that. So if you have any feedback for me, leave it down in the comments below. But of course, once we get you to that $2 million in profit, we want to take half of that cash for each entrepreneur we help, put it into an endowment that helps raise the standard of living across the world to middle-class America so that everybody has more than enough food, shelter, water, and safety. That's the dream. That's the goal. We want to raise that standard of living across the world. Maybe there's a better way to do it, but right now I'm focused on helping 800,000 entrepreneurs because I love business, I love people, and you guys are the ones who are taking the risk and pouring it into your communities. I want to be right alongside you when you do it. Appreciate you being here. Let me know in the comments below what topics you want me to go over next or how I can be of more service to you. Subscribe to the channel and we'll see you guys on the next one.